Well,
Okay.
hi.
Hello.
Hi.
We're on episode 7?
Episode 7.
Episode 7. Look at that. We made it to another number.
Sounds like me getting old.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're going to be 36 this year.
Do you think that's old?
No, I don't think so. I still get hit on, which is kind of nice.
Do you think that old people don't get hit on? Because I feel like should we restart how we started this?
Oh my God, damn. I shouldn't have said anything. It's crazy. Should we start over? Was that a mean thing to say?
I don't know. I mean, I've hit on people that are definitely out of my age range. That would probably be considered old.
No, I take back what I said. I've hooked up with like guys 45 and older, and they're actually in really great shape, and it gives me hope like, oh, I can be as fine as them, you know?
Yeah. Or just put yourself in positions where people that are much, much younger than you are like, sure, why not?
Crazy, but it's true. So crazy.
Should we adjust your mic because it's a little far from you? I guess we can also just leave it. I don't know.
No, it's fine.
We're still figuring out our setup 7 episodes in. Always learning. Yay.
Do you want to hear what happened at the beach?
Yeah, I saw. Well, okay, so I didn't see all your posts. So if you posted about it, I might have missed it. But I saw that you brought your thong out again, right?
So I wore my pink Speedo thong. It's a swim thong.
It's kind of like your summer brand now, almost.
Yes,
if that's a thing.
Yes, it is my summer brand. Like I always wear a thong. I got my nice tan on my ass. Like really happy about it. Whale tail tan. So I go to Torrance Beach, and I basically will like set up like a towel right next to, I think it's called Rat's Surf Corner by the volleyball nets. And so basically what happened, I was setting up like my umbrella, my towel, like everything.
Were you on your own, or were you were buddies, right?
I was on my own, but I invited a girlfriend last minute to come. So I set up, and then I see my girlfriend coming by, and I'm like, oh shit, like it's January. And
that's your friend?
That's my friend.
Oh, okay, so I was like, we are not in January, but okay, no, that's your friend.
Her name's January. So she comes over and she says hi. And so I turn around and I start like doing this thing with my ass, like shaking it. So Jan's like laughing and I'm laughing. I'm like, hey girl. He's like, hey girl. This dad basically comes to me and yells at me and starts saying, what the fuck are you wearing? Don't you know there's fucking kids here? This is not fucking West Hollywood. Crazy. And mind you, as he's saying this, he has his like 10, 11-year-old son with him. So the whole time I'm like, oh, there's a kid there. I can't just stoop to his level. So I basically...
you've got to now be the bigger person.
So I basically was like, oh... okay, happy Sunday to you too, dude. Like, have a good day. And the guy was just murmuring stuff under his breath. But what I really wanted to say to the guy was like, how do you know about West Hollywood? Have you been there? Do you like it? It was like some beefed up Filipino Mexican dude that told me this.
He probably does Halloween out there.
Oh, 100%. And I was just really sad.
Okay, wait. Did he say WeHo or West Hollywood?
Oh, he said West Hollywood, not WeHo.
Okay. Because that's kind of a...
But even still, like, how do you know about West Hollywood as a fucking straight dad, man, guy?
If you live in LA, I feel like even if you just... Not even if you just live in LA, just if you... I think especially if you live on the west side or if you live in South Bay, like, you've heard of WeHo or you've driven through WeHo and seen the... And I think technically isn't the Pride Parade we have here like the largest one in the country, or like there's some stat about that, like it's
for Long Beach or LA?
No,
Pride
LA.
Oh yeah,
LA is it's like numbers wise, like attendees and floats, like one of the bigger ones in the country.
Yeah,
I think.
Because everybody like across the world comes to LA to like party for Pride.
Well, and we just have the space for it, right? Like I would think like maybe like another like New York City or something like that might have like also a large one, but it'd be between the two of them. But I'm pretty sure I read something about WeHo specifically has like the largest Pride Parade. So you don't have to be gay to know that like West Hollywood is a gay area, right?
Yeah.
So But anyway, sorry, back to your point.
No, it was just really weird. And like January, bless her heart, she was like, "Are you okay? Like, are you fine?" I'm like, "Yeah." I felt really like weird because I'm like, we're at a beach and there were other girls there with fucking G-string bikinis. And it's really interesting because I keep hearing this double standard with gay men. You can't wear Daisy Dukes. You can't wear a G-string. And I'm just like, I'm at the fucking beach. Like, why does it fucking matter?
I had an old professor in undergrad that he used to say that men are socialized into masculinity with a fear of femininity. And like, whether that's, I think there's a lot of things that you could say in either direction there, but I think that stuff like that, right? Like an incident like that is a good example of it almost. Cause like you're saying, I mean, like, I will say, to be fair, the girls that are wearing thongs and also string bikinis, right? Like, they could have also experienced that maybe, or they're getting more of like maybe a more passive version of that, right? Of the side eyes and the glares,
Cat
or whatever.
calls.
The cat calls, like, yeah, or just the way people talk to them, you know, kind of a thing. But it is different when it's someone like confronting you.
Oh, 100%. It was just really like,
My thing is also to like to do that in front of your kid is a little like,
that's what I was saying.
like there's a way to do that and not be like cuss and aggressive and like, you know, like there's a way to be like, I don't know.
I mean, I think either way, regardless of how he said it, I think the message still would have been clear. It's like, oh, you're bothered because I'm a man wearing a fucking G-string bikini. And it was just one of those things.
Well, you were also like putting on a show.
Yes.
Not that I'm trying to blame you, but it's different being a person wearing clothes versus being a person wearing clothes and drawing attention.
So to that point, I did say that to my therapist because
I'm not saying what he did is right at all in any way.
No. We're clarifying. She's an ally. She loves gay people. Say you love gay people.
And then blink twice if you're being held hostage. It's the propaganda. This is what they meant. By them, they meant my old version of me anyways.
No. God. I was telling my therapist, like, I think part of why I responded the way I did was because your kid's there, right? And we're at the beach and there's families there. And like, I'm not here to fight. I'm just here to have a good time. Like, I'm not even trying to make you feel uncomfortable, man. Like,
well, it wasn't even about him either. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
it
You were not throwing yourself up on a stage or like running on top of a lifeguard tower and doing that, right? That's a very different.
no.
That's a different vibe than being like, "Hi, friend, greeting," you know, or whatever. You know?
I was literally just like doing this thing with my hands in front of January. Like, it wasn't even that crazy. But then what the funny thing was, like, so right after he like left, there was another family that sat behind us and they also had a 10-year-old. This was a white family and they didn't care. Like, they were singing lullabies to their kid and doing all
Was
this.
the guy that confronted you not white? Oh, you said he was
He was either Filipino or
boy.
Mexican.
Oh,
Because he
okay,
also
okay,
had like
yeah.
a bunch of tribal Filipino tattoos.
Yeah.
But then that could go either way.
Yeah.
It kind of made me sad. It's like, damn, my own people here just telling me this shit. Like, it was really kind of disappointing to hear that.
I mean, there's a lot of levels to that though, too, right? Because like, especially with the whole, like, you know, we were talking about intersectionality, I think last week, right? About like being someone that's gay, but also you're, you know, multiple, like it's not just you're not a default race, you know, you're not a default sexuality. And so all of those things go into like, oh, we're going to hold you to a different standard than what someone else would get held to or something, you know, or they think that the reaction to you is justified because of, you know, how you're presenting. Yeah, I don't know. Cause I think that is like a thing too, right? That like for very different reasons, like me as a girl on beach also has had to, I guess, kind of consider, not so much so like the kid side of things and stuff, you know, because there is a thing where it's like, at least for me, right? I'm like, oh, if I am there with people that I know will have kids or something like that, like maybe I will choose a different bikini, not for any reason other than I grew up in very like, you know, modesty culture, right? Which like I don't agree with at all, but also that is still very baked into the way I like make my decisions and stuff. And I think that there is a little bit of something to be said too about like this way, you know, if something happens, like I don't know. My defense is that you can't just call me a whore or something. But like, but I'm not saying that what he did is right. Also, like,
She
it's
loves
not.
gay people.
But then now I sound like a fetishizer where I'm like, my gay best friend, right? Is it better to be that way, or is it better to be like, you was shaking your ass on Rat Beach? I don't know about that.
Well,
But I'm not saying that was wrong. I'm saying you were having fun with your friends. It had nothing to do with that person.
I think also too, something that I didn't consider, we're right next to Palo Verde Estates.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that was a pretty conservative like town.
Oh, South Bay's like surprisingly conservative.
Like the thing is, like, I've always been at that beach with my thong. I've always brought thongs in. I've always laid there. I never done it. Like, I've been by myself, which is even crazier too.
Okay, to be fair though, I would say that if I saw someone wearing that thong just out and you weren't talking, I would probably assume that you're a tourist, and I would kind of just be like, all right.
She's European.
I mean, I would just kind of assume that, I think, right? Because it's like, that's not, I mean, yeah, unless you're at like Venice, which is adjacent to WeHo, right? Like, I'm not expecting to go to, like, any other beach I go to, I don't necessarily see people wearing thongs. I will sometimes in South Bay, but usually, again, they're usually people that are either visiting or they, like, even if they've been living here for 15 years, right? 20, 30, 40 years, they still have a different comfort level with something like that versus like someone that maybe is not as comfortable with something like that, right? So I don't know, but that's also like, you know, was it Torrance or Hawthorne was the place that had, there was that woman during COVID that was like verbally attacking like Asian Americans, and like in Venice, like, you know, one of my buddies also had like, someone also like went after her for being Asian, for existing outdoors, kind of a deal, right? So like, I think it is surprising when something like that happens here, because we are in such a bubble, right? Where it feels like, oh yeah, I wouldn't expect to have something like that happen. But also at the same time, it is like that beach specifically is adjacent to, I don't know. I don't even know though if it's the geography, because I think you could have been at any beach and that would have happened if that person suddenly like felt the need to be the morality police, right? Because that kind of is what it sounds like. It sounds like he's kind of trying to like police morality, or like, you know, like put his standards of like modesty and.
I felt like a Victorian woman, like showing off my ankles, but it's my butt cheeks. I think.
It just makes me sad for his kid though, honestly, because I'm also like in situations like that, right? I'm like, that kid is very young, and like, you don't know like who they are. They don't know who they are yet, right? They're figuring it out. And like, what if that kid turns out to be anything but straight?
You know what
right?
You know what my therapist said? It's like, the dad, I don't think, understands what he did. It's like you're unconsciously feeding information about gay culture to your kid, because then the kid's going to be like, oh, what's West Hollywood? Oh, why do they dress up like that in West Hollywood? Oh, what are the type of guys that are West Hollywood?
Well, not even that. Like, I don't think as a 10-year-old I would suddenly start questioning the geography. I think I would be like, why was that wrong? Like, but not asking in a way to be accusatory of, you know, parent or whatever. It would just be more like, oh, I don't understand why did dad go yell at that person because they were dancing, right? Because also I do think that there's a certain amount of like modesty that, you know, we are taught and we have to learn, and that then we go to try to put those modesty standards on other people versus again. And so again, you know, that's why like men that are not American are maybe more comfortable wearing something like a thong versus American men have a different idea of modesty in the way that they present their bodies. And so, you know, as kids, we learn that. And so that kid learned something that day about, you know, modesty and the way to clothe your body or show your body or whatever, you know? And like, yeah, I don't know. There's other ways of handling that, but also it's just, I think if anything, that just makes me sad for the kid.
It makes me sad for the kid. It makes me really think about like, how do you talk to your kid like behind closed doors? It's like really sad. And then after that happened, I had this like whole thing, like I wanted to go into the water, but there was like a part of me, and I was telling January, like, do I want to go into the water because I want to prove a point? Or do I want to go into the water because I genuinely want to go into the water? And I was kind of like, and it felt kind of like icky and I didn't like it. But I was like, regardless whether this happened or not, my plan was to get into the water. So I went into the water. I did my thing. I had a fun time. I was able to laugh it off with January. But like, I hate that I felt like a sliver of like shame. But then I also realized, to kind of relating back to what you're saying, I think that's the price that comes with being yourself. There's always going to be someone that's going to criticize you. And you have to be ready to like handle that situation. Whether it's by just like not engaging, just wishing the person a good day, or go fucking batshit crazy with this guy.
My favorite, I watched a friend disengage with someone that was not entirely sober, and they were just kind of looking for a fight, right? It was this dude, and my friend, like, he's quite a big, tall dude, right? And yeah. And his way of disengaging is like the guy like was getting in his face, and he simply just went, "Not today." He put up his arms and just walked away, like full on, just like waving his arms like one of those inflatable guys, you know, and just like literally removed himself from the situation. And the guy that was like trying to beef with him was just, oh, sorry, that's my watch, was just so confused, like. Because, you know, it's like when someone's like in your face like that, right? You're kind of like, oh, yeah, they're either going to scream back or they're going to say, have a good day, or like they're going to engage somehow, right? But no, my buddy, he just was like, nope, my way is I just simply bye, exit, escape, delete. but like it, I don't think you have to be prepared for it. I mean, like there's a certain point of like, I think, yes, if you know that you're going to be going against the norm, as in like, let me wear something that maybe is more skimpy here than what everyone else is wearing. Yeah, you kind of have to know that like you're going to either be getting looks, you might get a comment, like, right? Like someone might try to shame you and make you feel uncomfortable or whatever. But also I'm kind of like, I don't know, can't I just react the way I want to react? I don't know. But this is also coming from someone else. I pre-plan all my social interactions and everything, so.
Like, are you saying that like you're going to get a reaction no matter what, and this is how people are just going to react given their upbringings or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's
at least here.
I think that's a fair observation. Like, it's something that my therapist also like acknowledged. It's like there's a price that comes with freedom, I think, and I think like for me, it was just like, oh, I'm gonna. It's crazy because I never had that happen to me. Like, never.
This is kind of one of those moments where I feel for you, and I am acknowledging your experience. But
you're gonna
also,
tell me you were looking for it. You were asking for it.
No, I just was gonna say, welcome to being a woman.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's what my dad would usually say to my sister. So I'm like, I shouldn't say that. Whoops.
I mean, it's just. And that doesn't make it okay, right? But that's also why I'm like, this is a thing that I think there's no like easy answer or right answer, or there's no way to be like oh, well, here's how you should have reacted, or here's how. Because also the thing that I hate too is that, like, and I'll have this happen, right, where in my head I'm like, oh yeah, if something like that were to happen to me, here's how I would react. But then the situation happens and I don't react at all the way I thought I would, and I sometimes will feel icky about myself because of that, because it becomes a like, oh, why didn't you stand up for yourself, or why didn't you this or that, right, or like that kind of a thing. But other times it will be like, oh, I'm actually proud of the way I reacted to that. I didn't know I had that in me, you know. Like it really depends. But I think it's really easy having not experienced like that exact scenario or whatever to be like, oh, well, you were wrong because of blah 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 or whatever, right?
You know what's funny? So at the gym, I don't know if you saw the Tubi harness and the Tubi hat that I got from the Tubi free gay store or something like that.
No.
So Tubi did this whole like gay pride collection with this like designer.
Tubi, like the streaming service?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's like a shirt that says I got my ass ate out while watching Tubi.
Okay.
So they made a whole like brand thing. So I got these like gym shorts, and it's like purple shorts with like the 80s like white lining, and there's yellow text in the back that says free, like in giant letters in like my ass. And so there was like a part of me that like I wanted to. I don't know if this is like my villain origin story, my anti-hero origin story, where like I'm going to wear this and I'm going to wear it to the gym and I'm going to be unapologetically me. But then there was like a part of me that's like, am I doing this because I genuinely want to? Or am I doing this because I need to prove a point? And then I started thinking like, I wonder if this is what other gay queer people feel like when they feel like threatened or insulted. So like, oh, you hate this? I'm going to even wear it even more. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, I think that's it's a form of response, I think, right? And that's the whole like how you get countercultures, right? Even outside of, that's how you get goths, that's how you get punks, that's how you get, these like motorcycle, that's how you get alternative cultures, right? That are pushing back against the mainstream. But I don't think it's always like, sometimes I think it is a conscious thought of like, oh, well, you don't like that well, let me fully 100% then, But it goes back into the idea, right, of like performance and why do we do what we do? And like, yeah, who are you trying to make feel better or something, I guess? Or not even make feel better, right? Because we also, I think there's an episode where we talked about how the, like the visibility of queer people nowadays is like really cool because it helps to kind of just be like, oh, look, hey, like, there have always been gay people. There always will be, and there always have been, but they just have not been able to be open until very, very recent, right? And like even now, in some you can't. Even like here in California, you can't be open, right? And so there's also that line, right, of like where and it shouldn't be a thing of like, oh well, because you can't, I can. I'm gonna represent here in the way I can to like add to that. But also, yeah, how much does it also go into like do you want to do that for yourself? Or are you doing this to like make a statement, to prove a point, to push back against something?
It's like you're fighting for the cause, but at the same time, I feel like, am I still being genuine with myself? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it goes into like your performance and the whole way that not performance isn't it's fake, but the whole like gender expression, sexuality expression, the way that I don't remember the social theorist's name, but he talks a lot about that, about the way that like we perform our identities.
I don't want to call it fake, but it's not. I want to be me, and I feel like being me is how I fight the cause. But if I'm forcibly like wearing something because I need to get it, I need to shove it in your face, it's like, is that really me being me, or is that me being somebody else for like a cause that I'm fighting? Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Who are you fighting?
The muscle tattoo hot Republican MAGA dad.
And you think that you wearing really gay stuff is gonna do what?
Fight against the MAGA dads.
Do you think it'll make them kinder to the next gay person they encounter?
No.
Or do you think it'll help to reinforce their views of gay people?
I think it's just going to reinforce their views on gay people. I think that's where the dilemma lies, right? And so I'm fine now. Like, I think I was able to process it in a very healthy way. I just think like, I'm not glad that it happened, but I'm glad I was able to kind of take a moment, like ask the really like subtle gray questions and be like, no, actually this has to say more about him than me.
Well, yeah. And I'm glad that also like the ending of that story was that it didn't turn physical.
Oh no.
No one else got involved. Like that person walked away. Right. And so, like that very easily, like to me, like those situations are like, yeah, we can talk about it and joke about it or whatever, or dissect it or whatever. But I'm also like, there's a danger level to that I am always like, and that's why I'm like, yeah, you have to be the bigger person, because if you escalate it, like now there's assault happening. And like,
well, also people will film it if they wanted to.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And like, and it becomes a thing, right? That's like that. It just escalates so far. And it's like, as your friend, I'm like, I would rather that you not get into any kind of physical altercation of any kind, whether or not it's justified or not. But yeah, people film it, and it's just things live on the internet now and things, right? And like, and especially with a situation like that, right? That is such a like, I don't want to call it like a gray area because it's not like there's like a wrong way. It's not like, no, you should not have been wearing your Speedo on the beach, or there's not like a right way of like, no, you have the right to wear your, because you do have the right to wear your Speedo on the beach, right? I do think that there is a certain element of like context and stuff, right? But you weren't on like a Disney cruise for kids standing like in the middle of the ship doing that, right? You weren't at a place specifically for children doing that. You were in a public space that, you know, kids have access to. But again, like it also was a thing of like, I'm also something like that. I'm like, it would have been so easy for the dad to have like watched that happen and to like turn to their kid and just have been like, yeah, that's a little like much. We don't do that in this family. And like, still, that's not okay. That is so not okay.
You can keep it to yourself. Keep it between your family.
But yeah, you can kind of just like pass judgment silently or something like that. Because again, on his end too, I'm like, oh, cool. Does he think that that's going to make you stop
Gayness.
doing that?
Speedos.
Like, yeah, is that gonna make you sell your collection, or is that gonna make you stop like, you know, shaking your butt around or anything like that? What does that achieve?
You know what I just
Like,
remembered?
what did that actually achieve?
I think there was a Sunday service happening at the beach too.
And you're over here going, I didn't realize that there's conservative parts of the South Bay.
It's crazy because I wasn't walking with my thong. I had a rhinestone crop top Daisy Dukes and a pink hat. So I'm like fucking shining like a fucking diamond at the fucking beach. I'm literally walking behind the priest giving the sermon, and there's like 40 people on the beach praying, and I'm just like,
It's like, if you're gonna have a service at the beach, like, you know that there's gonna be people in bikinis and thongs and whatever, right? Like,
that's just weird to me, the concept of having like church at the beach.
I think we've been doing religious things in nature for forever. I think there sometimes can be elements of like, they'll know you by your acts, or the idea of going to somewhere that might be like sinful and like praying for the area, or being a witness to the people that, you know, are not part of your like belief system, demonstrating kindness, especially if there's like a beach cleanup or like, you know, some type of like community service involved with also like the religion service part of things, where it's like, oh, look here, we're demonstrating that we are good Christians that are kind and caring and whatever. And like, this is what would make you interested to come join us next week or whatever. Right. So, and also like the public demonstrations of faith and like all those things. Right. So like, they are also in a public place doing something that might make people uncomfortable. Right. If someone confronts them, again, like that is a very different situation because of, you know, power dynamics, and spirituality is a completely different thing than sexuality and everything. But, you know, anyone can run up to you and start, you know, yelling at you for what, you know, Torrance woman yelling at someone for being Asian, like, you know. And that woman, I actually think she, like, nothing happened to her from what I remember. I think they might have picked her up or something like that, or like been like, hey, don't do that. And like, that was it. But like, then it came out that she had like done that to like 2 other people. Like she had followed them to bathrooms and then like verbally or maybe physically assaulted them or something, again, for being Asian while there was COVID. So I'm not saying that what happened was right, or that you were asking for it, or that like, because also it's the thing, right? If you were to have been wearing like swim trunks, but had greeted your friend in the exact same way, I'm sure he would have said something still. I don't think it really mattered what you were wearing in this situation. I don't think it helped, but I don't think it changed anything.
January was also saying like, for some reason, I feel like if you're a white gay man who had done that, I don't think he would have said anything to you.
We don't know.
Maybe.
That's something that we don't know. I do think that there's the idea of like, you know, whiteness affording you a certain amount of like
privilege
in some contexts, I think. Yeah. But I think sometimes, so this kind of situation happens, right? And then sometimes in the like, you know, investigation, like, you know, I guess processing of it, right? I don't think questions like that are helpful, only because you cannot be white. And yeah, you can maybe compare your experience to one of your friends that is white, that is gay, that has been out on the beach and like greeted their friend that way or something. But also like, you know, I'm sure you've also done that so many other times and no one has ever confronted you, right? It's just in this one instance, it was right place, right time for all this to happen, right? But I don't think it's like helpful to be like, oh, well, if you're white, it would have been easier. That wouldn't have happened, because we don't know, and you also can't be white. So how does that helpful?
I'm getting a race operation.
I don't even know how that would look. Oh, there was that one woman that like
Call me Toby.
did a bunch of.
No.
It's funny because he said Toby and I pictured with an I, and I'm like, that's still pretty gay.
Oh.
Tobi.
Tobi.
Yeah.
To be.
Maybe. I don't know. But yeah.
We're saying about Rachel Zogar.
Oh yeah. I feel like that was a very like weird time in the internet. That was like that was before I think the term rage bait existed. Not that she was rage baiting or anything, but I think that sometimes things like that are happening, and I'm like, I didn't need to know that was happening because it wasn't happening. Not that like it doesn't affect me, but I'm just saying that like I can't do about it sitting here because I don't think she's in California, right?
I think she is.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
No, you know what? I think with her, wasn't it a thing where she started like, was she applying for grants or she was trying to like,
Black scholarships?
I was going to say, no, there was actually a thing that I was like, no, wait, this actually, it wasn't her just like minding her own business and like doing things to her body. It was her, she was now actively trying to like, yeah, no, like, that's not, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'd learned from it. I was able to like handle it the best way that I could. And
But like, what did you learn from it? Like, what? Like, you're not going to stop wearing thongs and stop.
oh no, I mean, I learned that I'm not gonna stop being who I am. You know, like I think like I'm gonna continue wearing what I wear, and I think I don't think I'm the type of person that's ever gonna choose violence when that shit happens.
Well, and also like in these contexts, right, you can't because that literally will send you to jail or give you a fee, or now you're on video somewhere and like, oh, there goes your job, right?
I'm
like,
fighting with this guy. My thong
well,
comes
and
off.
also like you don't know who he is. What if he's someone that like can go after you, right? You just don't know. Yeah. Like he I don't know. You could be someone that like could wreck your life because he got pissed off enough or something, right?
It's funny because when he went to go sit back down to his towel, he was like maybe at least like 20 feet away from us, I think. I wasn't laughing to be like snarky, but I was laughing out of just like confusion. Like I was,
yeah, like go move your stuff, dude.
I was like, what the?
Like if you're not happy, like like obviously they're gonna be sitting there, so like you can remove yourself from the situation, dude.
There's another thing that was kind of like interesting. So there was a family, also with a 10-year-old, a white family, that sat behind us.
Yeah, you said that they had no issue with it.
They had no issue whatsoever. Like I was literally laying down ass up, like tanning. Which
is why I'm saying that like you've done this probably so many times and never had an issue, and there have been children running around and it's been fine, right? And so it's just one of those like, yeah, the wrong place, wrong time, or right place, right time. I don't know how you want to look at it, right? But like, yeah, and like, and for all you know, they could have been very judgmental of you. They could have been telling their kid like, hey, that's what happens if you don't whatever,
pray.
You know, yeah, or if you don't eat your vegetables or whatever. I don't know, you know.
If you don't eat your vegetables, what is this, an Alex Jones podcast?
Come to me for parenting tips. I got all of them. But yeah, you know, it's just like
if you don't eat your broccoli, you'll turn gay.
How amazing would that be? I'd be like, no greens for me.
No greens, no gays.
But like, it's just, I think that this is a hard experience to process because it goes into so many things of like identity and like the current culture that we live in, the current geographic area that we live in, beach culture, right? Because there's a thing, right, where I'm like, for me, I am so much more comfortable wearing things at the beach that I would never wear like outside the confines of a beach, because it's like, oh yeah, I'll wear a bikini top there, fine, but then you won't catch me out in like silverware wearing like a bikini top, you know? So, I mean, like maybe like, I'm wearing a bikini top right now, an overshirt, but I'm in my own home and it's hot. So different context, right?
Correct.
But it goes into, and also like, again, also you are a boy. So it's also going to come off different than if you were a girl, like showing off your boobies, you know?
Yeah.
So, but again, because it gets into all these different aspects of like, not just like sexuality, but more so like gender and like the current culture. And like, I think you can be made fun of for being too modest, but it is not with the threat level of being immodest. I think that there's a higher chance of like I think that someone is more likely to like get physical and assault me if they think I'm being immodest versus like someone assaulting me because they think I'm too modest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's that whole thing of like, there's different things attached to it, but at the end of the day, there's more danger, I think, associated with one than the other.
Yeah.
Careful not to bump your stand.
But yes, very much that.
But you talked to your therapist about it.
We did. I was able to talk to him, and I think we were able to kind of figure it out and like talk about it. And so I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Still gonna wear thongs.
Sorry that happened to you, but I'm glad that you're going to continue doing what you do.
No, yeah.
I think this also gets into the conversation of how we were talking last week about the intimidation of going to like gay bars and like not feeling gay enough, and like how does that present itself? And,
I was too gay. The streets came after me.
That's pretty
they
gay.
were like, get her.
That's pretty gay.
I looked cute in my thong. I should have worn the rhinestone crop top. I felt like Ariel. You know when Ariel becomes human? You know, that was literally me at the beach. Oh,
there goes Hannah.
hi Hannah. She's like, enough of this.
Yeah, but what did January say about?
She just kept asking me like, "Are you okay? Like, is everything fine?" I'm like, "Yeah, everything's fine." But then the more I talked about it with her about getting to the water, she's like, "No, you should go in there because she wanted to get in there."
Because like that is, I do think going back to that family that was sitting behind you, right? They are in no way obligated to get involved. And also with someone that is being that aggro, I would think there would also be the whole danger element, right? Of like, I don't want to escalate this by now getting more people involved. Mm-hmm. But that's what I think people mean when they say like, exercise your privilege, right? Of the like someone else intervening and being like, hey dude, can you just chill? Like there's other kids here and like, there's a way to not set a bad example for your kid, or not confront someone in such a like, not like meaningless, but like ineffective way. Because again, what was the point of that? That's not going to get rid of gays. That's not going to get rid of you off the beach. That's not going to make you change. Like there was no goal to that type of confrontation. Not that someone that would go up to someone and have the audacity to do that would have a goal, but like, you know, that's different than someone being like, hey dude, I don't know. And like, they could give you their opinion and it doesn't mean you're going to change anything, but that's a very different approach than like yell and accuse and all that. Little does he know that you hate, you know, WeHo and all that. So
I literally was like, I don't even like WeHo. Why would I want to go to WeHo? Crazy?
Yeah.
I can't even afford WeHo. Not that I'm poor.
Well, I just never can find parking there. That's my main reason why I don't like WeHo.
I heard you can park by the library, apparently. It's like free parking. It's like right by Mocha. It's like a free parking station.
I don't know. Anytime I go, there's nothing. So I don't know. But I don't mind WeHo, but it is it's expensive, and I have no reason to go there other than for things like the heated rivalry, like watch parties and things. So,
they're filming season 2.
Yeah.
I'll go with you.
We're starting to get into the range.
I'll go with you for season 2 finale.
Okay, yeah, that's the plan. Yeah.
So what are your plans for this week?
I don't know. My calendar is entirely scattered right now, and I know I'm forgetting something for this weekend. I have to go back and try to figure that out. So, yeah, I need to try to sleep more. I've been getting like 3 hours of sleep the last week, so it's not been good. But yeah. What about you? When's the Zine Fest? Following up on that again. We're in August.
It's currently August. Is this August? We have to hurry.
Is that what I'm forgetting this weekend?
Or maybe it's September. I forgot. Let me double check and see.
Okay, because we're definitely like already like halfway through August.
I gotta check in with Jake. I feel like I mentioned him every episode. No, I gotta double check. But the Zine Fest is coming up, and then what else is happening? Yeah, just been cooking, just been working out. Nothing major.
I think it's crazy that I took a shower right before we hit record, and my hair is dry now. Like that's how hot it is right now. Like my hair was like fully like out of the shower, just wet, and I was like, okay, let's hit record and go. And now it's just dry. Like by the time I like turned on all the recorder and all that, it's just dried. So that's why I've also just been playing with it the whole time. It was cool actually. I went to a birthday party this last weekend, and
that's what I did. Yeah,
I saw some old friends, which was really cool. And it was one of those like really cool but also trippy situations where like it was like people that I knew from different areas kind of, or like different shows, you know, but then they all knew each other, and so they are all friends, but I've only have been friends with them like individually, you know. So then to see them all together, I was like, wow, this is very cool, but very like not used to that, you know. Yeah.
No, that's fun.
Yeah.
I met a pair of lesbians. One's from Brazil.
Are you like collecting them like Pokemon, or what do you mean you met a pair of lesbians?
Oh, that sounded terrible. I
met a single gay guy.
Don't put that on the reel, please. No, her name is redacted.
Great.
But she was really fun. We had this whole conversation about how a lot of Latinos here in LA don't consider Brazilians Latino, but they're in South America, so they are Latino.
Well, isn't it the whole like speaking Portuguese thing, and like how do you quantify like a
like
Latino?
people say like, well, Portuguese is not like Spanish. I'm like, they're from fucking Brazil. Do you not know the history of Brazil? And so we were talking about it, and she was like, I really appreciate you acknowledging that I'm Latina because I don't get that from other Latinos. And I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, of course you're Latina. She was so funny. She had main character energy and I loved it. She was a Taurus. I loved it. Then I met this other girl named, she was, I think you would have loved.
With an I?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I think you would have loved. Redacted. Whoops. She made this really bomb ass mac and cheese and it was so fucking good.
Ooh. I found out mac and cheese is way more of an American concept than I thought it was.
Did you think it was from something else?
No, it just to me, I'm like, oh, there's pasta and dairy. Like that's a pretty common thing in, other parts of the world. But I had someone telling me that's not American and they were like, oh yeah, like I've tried it a few times and like, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? I like,
this shout out to the mac and cheese. Like it's
stop saying their name. I have to redact it.
I'm sorry. You can put the screen
he
on there.
gives so many shout outs and then I have to sit there and go, can we keep the name?
I'm so sorry. I'll take
okay.
that up for the next episode.
It's okay. I'm redacting those names and I'm putting a Jake like name counter here for how many times you mention his name. I hope you don't watch this.
No, but yeah, her mac and cheese is really bomb. I was actually going to bring that to you today, but I know you said you ate, so
yeah,
the next one.
Yeah, I have a bunch of leftovers in the fridge I need to finish off. So
I made a watermelon sorbet today.
Oh, nice.
With tahini.
Love tahini. Although, like, I always have the issue where I can never finish off a full bottle on my own, and so it ends up getting like kind of hard. But then I use it. I like use it as like a marinade for like fish or something like that.
I like that.
It's like citrusy and things. There's something I was going to bring up on this podcast. I don't remember now. Oh, maybe next week we should talk about it.
She loves gay people, guys. Remember.
And not in a weird, my gay best friend dehumanizing kind of early 2000s way. Do you think calling yourself an ally is like virtue signaling nowadays?
Mi gente homosexual. Yes.
See. I don't know. I'm like, isn't being an ally just being like a person that's like, hey, you should just be allowed to exist the way
Correct.
anyone does?
Correct.
If I go out and like shake my tatas on the beach and someone yells at me, like I'll be like, equality. Cool.
Yeah. Somebody complimented my tatas the other day. I was like, oh.
Were they like a stranger?
No, it was the gay guy.
Oh.
I was like,
But like a stranger or like someone you knew?
Someone I knew.
Oh, okay.
They were just like,
I was just trying to think of someone like walking up to you or like being at Trader Joe's and the Trader Joe's like the new policies, them being like,
nice
I see what kind of harassment comment can I make up with right now?
Those melons looking ripe and juicy. Excuse me. No, sir. I was talking about the watermelons you're purchasing right now. You got two here.
I see chicken's not the only kind of,
breast.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know where I'm going with this one.
I thought you were going to go with that. I was like, that was pretty good.
Those little like bra inserts or like little silicone
The ones
things?
that look like chicken breasts.
We call them cullets.
That's crazy.
I think it's really funny.
A little chicken wing in there.
It's a little one of these. A little one of those. This is a little chicken wing, right? A little
I know.
elbow. Right there.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There was something I was going to bring up during this. Oh, I was going to ask you about whether or not art that is created out of pain is different than art that is created out of joy and the role that those play in our lives. But I think it is much more interesting to talk about like assault on the beach.
Yeah.
We'll save that one for next week, maybe.
Assault on the beach. What should the title be?
What, assault on the beach or like for this episode?
For this episode. Beach, please.
No, you said that like longer titles are a bit much sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're flying by the seat of our pants every episode. It's great. We're learning a lot in a good way. And I don't say that sarcastically. I actually am learning a lot, which is good. Right?
Yes. I'm being PR media trained.
I think you're already there, actually, honestly.
That's why I have this mic like this.
Well, that's why I was going to bring up the whole like joy versus pain in art, you know, because I was like, I feel like this is a creation out of our joy.
Yeah.
Because like, I think we agreed about it before we even talked about it, about the whole, like, we're not going to use this to like bash on people or like be petty or like, you know, that's not the point of this podcast. And it's also not the point of it is not like, oh, our audience is dumb and we need to educate them, which is also, I think, kind of like a coming from a place of like defensiveness or like some, I don't know. I don't like that vibe though, you know, necessarily.
Me being a teacher.
Yes. in a really like a way that is like easily communicating really difficult concepts in a way that is easily digestible, but also sticks for long-term like knowledge.
Correct.
He's qualified, folks.
I got 2 degrees.
Yeah.
Let's use them.
Yeah. You can have my degrees too and use those somehow. I don't know how.
Oh, you use your degrees.
I do use my degrees. Someone the other day started getting me talking about my research and I was like, I actually need to have like, if you want to lecture on this, I will lecture you on this. But we were like sitting in my car and I was like, I don't know if I have enough gas or not to continue talking about this. So I was like, we can hang out later and I will just info dump as much as you want or as little as you want. It's up to you, you know? So there is that. But yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess that's we're going to call it there. So thanks for watching, I guess.
Thanks for coming,
listening
and
or
watching.
Any of the things, however you decide to consume podcasts. Head over to our Patreon to go listen to the names that we redacted.
I love gingers.
Do they love you?
Yeah, I would say so. There's one in particular that
Oh, God, I really want like a ginger snap right now. Like a ginger snap cookie and like a iced coffee would be so good.
Oh, that does sound good.
I have none of those ingredients.
Doesn't Mitsuwa have those ginger snaps like covered in sugar?
Mm-hmm.
They're pretty good. Yeah, maybe I'll get that tomorrow.
Okay, anyways, it's hot. I'm going to turn on the fan because we have to turn off all the fans whenever we do this.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.